On a quiet winter morning, when the world seemed wrapped in silver and white, soft snowflakes drifted down from the sky and covered the forest in a thick, sparkling blanket. The trees stood tall and still, their branches bending gently under the weight of fresh snow. Everything looked magical, but beneath that beauty was a sharp, biting cold that crept into every corner of the woods. Near the edge of the forest stood a small wooden shelter. It was simple but cozy, with a tiny window and a little chimney that had not smoked in days. Inside lived two best friends, the little white bunny and the little yellow duck. That morning, the cold felt stronger than ever before. The little white bunny woke up first. He stretched his small paws and immediately felt the icy air nipping at his nose. His fluffy white fur, usually warm and soft, did little to protect him from the freezing chill that filled the shelter. Siber it. Beside him, the little yellow duck stirred from sleep. He tucked his tiny wings close to his round body and blinked his bright eyes. "It's so cold," he murmured, his beak trembling slightly. "I can see my breath." The little white bunny looked around. The small pile of wood they had collected earlier in the week was completely gone. They had used the last of it the night before to stay warm. "We need more firewood," said the little white bunny quietly. "If we don't make a fire soon, we'll be shivering all day." The little yellow duck waddled to the door and carefully peeked outside. Snow was still falling, and the wind was blowing in soft but steady gusts. "Everything is covered in snow," he said worriedly. "The sticks will be wet. How will we find dry wood?" The little white bunny stood up straight, even though his paws felt cold against the wooden floor. "We have to try. We can't give up before we even begin." The little yellow duck looked at him with concern. "But it's freezing out there." "I'll go," said the little white bunny bravely. "You stay here and keep moving so you don't get too cold. I won't be long." The little yellow duck hesitated. He didn't want his friend to face the cold alone, but he also knew that someone had to be strong. "Please be careful," he sighed softly. With that, the little white bunny opened the door. A rush of icy wind swept inside, making them both shiver. Then he hopped out into the snowy forest. The snow was deeper than he expected. Each hop required extra effort as his paws sank into the soft, white blanket. The cold air brushed against his face, and snowflakes settled on his fur. The forest, usually full of cheerful sounds, was quiet and still. He began searching near the shelter first, lifting small branches and brushing snow aside. But every stick he touched was either frozen solid or soaked with melting snow. He moved farther into the forest. Meanwhile, inside the shelter, the little yellow duck paced back and forth. He flapped his wings gently to keep warm and whispered encouraging words to himself. "He's brave. He'll find something. He always does." But as minutes passed, his worry grew. Out in the woods, the little white bunny kept searching. He checked beneath bushes and beside fallen logs. He even tried breaking small branches from trees, but they snapped with a sharp sound and were too wet to burn. The wind began to blow harder. The little white bunny paused and looked around. For a moment doubt crept into his heart. His paws felt numb, and his ears were cold. "What if I can't find anything? Wonder. He thought about the little yellow duck waiting alone in the shelter. He imagined his friend shivering and trying to stay brave. I can't give up, he whispered firmly. We need that fire. Just then, something caught his eye. Tall pine tree standing proudly among the others. Its branches were thick and full, creating a natural cover beneath it. The ground underneath looked different, less snowy. Hope flickered in his heart. He hopped toward the pine tree and carefully brushed away the thin layer of snow on the ground. Beneath it, he found small twigs, dry ones. They had been protected from the falling snow by the heavy branches above. His eyes lit up with excitement. Yes, he exclaimed softly. This will work. He quickly gathered as many dry twigs and small branches as he could carry. He stacked them carefully in his arms, balancing the bundle against his chest. The load was heavy, and the snow made walking difficult. Several times he nearly slipped, but he steadied himself and continued forward. Back at the shelter, the little yellow duck pressed his face against the tiny window. The sky was turning slightly darker, and the wind was whistling louder now. Suddenly, through the falling snow, he saw a familiar white shape in the distance. The little white bunny, he cried with joy. He rushed to open the door just as his friend approached. The little white bunny stepped inside, breathing quickly but smiling proudly. Snow dusted his fur, and his paws were cold, but his eyes shone brightly. I found dry wood under a pine tree, he said. The little yellow duck's eyes sparkled. You did it! Together, they carefully arranged the dry sticks in the center of the shelter. The little yellow duck struck a small spark using their flint stone. The first try failed. The second spark flickered but died quickly. They both held their breath. On the third try, a tiny flame appeared. It danced weakly at first, but they gently fed it with the smallest twigs. Slowly, patiently, the flame grew stronger. Soon, the fire began to crackle softly. Warm golden light filled the shelter, and the cold air slowly began to retreat. The little white bunny stretched his paws toward the warmth. The little yellow duck sighed deeply as heat spread through his tiny wings. They sat close together, watching the flames dance. You were so brave, said the little yellow duck. You didn't give up, even when it was hard. The little white bunny smiled gently. I was scared for a moment, but then I remembered that we're a team. The little yellow duck nodded. We always help each other. Outside, the snow continued to fall, covering the forest in deeper white. The wind still blew between the trees, but inside the small wooden shelter, it was warm and peaceful. The fire crackled steadily now, filling the room with comfort and light. The little white bunny and the little yellow duck felt proud, not just because they had built a fire, but because they had faced the cold together. That winter day taught them something important. Even when the world feels freezing and difficult, courage can be found in small steps. Determination can grow stronger than fear, and friendship too. Friendship is the warmest fire of all. As the evening sky darkened and the snowflakes continued to fall, the two friends sat side by side, safe and warm. And they knew that no matter how cold the winter might become, as long as they stayed together, they would always find a way to bring back the warmth. If you like this video, please subscribe and like it so we can make more videos like this.